Find something that says Key West. Turn left.
Get over the way.
What? Huh? It's helicopter ride. I haven't seen these in a while. I haven't seen one of these in a while.
Part of the hour. The building here on the right corner, built in the early 1900s as a grocery store. Today, this is the Key West Art Center Gallery. Local artists show the Island Flare there. Pretty cool to check out. Down on your right, way down there, you'll see the Key West Aquarium, built way back in 1934. That is the oldest tourist exhibit on the island. Lots of marine life from the coral reef you can check out inside there. A tour every 30 minutes inside the aquarium. Down to your right, the huge red brick building, that is the Custom House, built in 1891. It's been a custom house, a federal courthouse, a post office. They heard the inquiry into the sinking of the USS Maine there back in 1898, sparking the Spanish-American War. Also notice the roof line of the Custom House. See the picture of the roof, how steep it is? That was 1890 U.S. government code. You had to build your federal building like that. That is so snow will not stick to the rooftop. It's never snowed in Key West. Coldest on record is 41 degrees. U.S. government, 1890, similar to U.S. government today. Here in your right corner, you'll see the cannons guarding the Mel Fisher treasure exhibit. In 1622, the Spanish treasure galleon, the Atocha in the Santa Margarita, sank 30 miles off the coast of Key West. In 1985, after 15 years of searching, Mel Fisher and his crew hit the mother lode. They found both of those ships. $400 million worth of gold, silver, emeralds, rubies. Some of that is still on display in the building back there. Pretty cool to check out. And just 6 months ago, I read in the paper they found another cache of gold doubloons and emeralds. So still bringing up treasure all these years later out there in the Gulf.
I've never seen a tree like that. Oh. Yeah, bonsai tree.
And just ahead on the right, right up here, level with the trolley we're about to go past. See the big green gates on the right? These are the presidential gates built in 1906. Once these gates only opened for U.S. presidents. 2 blocks behind the gate, you'll find Harry Truman's little White House back there. Truman, the 33rd president of the United States, spent 11 working holidays in Key West. That is the only presidential museum in the state of Florida. First pop quiz, what U.S. state is Truman from? Anyone? Missouri! Gold stars in a shot out of Meeting, Missouri back there. Yes, sir, if you knew Missouri, smart as a 5th grader. Way to go. Now look to your left. Look at this huge tree growing over here. These are called banyan trees. Plenty of them in Key West. Largest one on the island, about 150 years old. Banyan trees are a member of the ficus family of trees. You know what a ficus tree does? Limbs grow out, touch the ground, they start a new trunk. They keep growing and growing. A fig tree. That's a ficus family tree. That's what a fig tree does. What did that on Discovery Channel last week? Now check out the White House on the left corner here. Notice the ceiling of the porches. See, they're painted light blue. A lot of people do that in Key West. That is so birds, bees, wasps, they won't build a nest there. They think it's the sky and go elsewhere. Who knew? Great little way to get rid of those pests. Over to our right, the brick building there, the Key West Post Office, built in 1985, built to resemble federal buildings at the turn of the century. Designed by local architect Sonny McCoy. Sonny, he was a 5-term mayor of Key West. Later on in the tour, in about 20 minutes, we'll see the West Martello Fort. You'll see the resemblance between the Key West Post Office and West Martello Fort. 3 forts actually miles on the island of West Martello, East Martello, and Fort Zachary Taylor. Currently making our way down Whitehead Street, named after John Whitehead, an early partial owner of Key West. You'll notice a lot of streets named after former owners of Key West. And as we cross Fleming Street, look on the far right, see the famous mile marker 0. This is where US 1 begins and ends. Right here on this corner, US 1 starts here, goes all the way up the eastern seaboard to Fort Kent, Maine at the Canadian border, 2,209 miles northeast of that point right here. On our right, you're going to notice a gorgeous cakewalk tree. We're going to talk more about the cakewalk in just a minute. Right behind it, the Monroe County Library. Courthouse is located there. There. All the government offices of Key West located on that square to the right of us here. Named Jackson Square after Andrew Jackson. He was the first military governor of the state of Florida, later a U.S. president. Just ahead on the far left corner here on Whitehead, you'll see the Green Parrot Bar. That's one of the oldest bars of Old Town Key West. The building actually built in 1890. Opened at 9 o'clock this morning, so breakfast beers for everybody. Did not close till after 4 a.m., so breakfast beers for everybody. And if you still want to drink on the island after the bars close at 4 a.m., we do have a Denny's on the island 24 hours with a full bar. One of 3 Denny's in the U.S. a full bar. So if you want an omelet, 5 a.m., want a shot of bourbon, knock yourselves out. Welcome to Key West, everybody. You can drink down here for 24 hours. It does not matter. Pretty cool place, though, the Green Parrot Bar. No food. They do have a free popcorn machine in there, but big into blues and jazz bands. If you're into blues and jazz, they'll have that there every night. Except for Monday night, that's bingo night at the Green Parrot. My night is Monday night, 7 to 9 bingo night every Monday night. You will notice overhanging the streets down here, some of these trees with the red and orange blooms hanging off of them. These are called Royal Poinciana trees. You'll see a lot of that here on the island. Royal Poinciana, they were planted by the British in the early 1800s when they arrived. Royal Poinciana trees. Just ahead to the right, look up above the tree line on the right up here. You'll see the steeple to the Cornish AME Zion Church. Sandy Cornish, a freed slave from Maryland, came to Key West in the 1850s. He and his wife bought a farm down here, became quite wealthy. They could grow a lot of things on the island. 1865, Sandy established that church there, the first church for the white community of Key West, still going strong today. Since we're here at Steel Drums, that means we're entering into what they call Bahama Village. 8 blocks square to the right of us, considered to be Bahama Village. Lots of fun stuff here in Bahama Village. Great cafes, boutiques, restaurants. Blue Heaven restaurant to the right down there off the joint. You heard of Blue Heaven? World famous since the 1940s, I do believe. Even today, a lot of these buildings and homes still owned by descendants of those original Bohemians from back in the 1850s. Coming up on our left on the next corner, you got to notice a red brick wall that surrounds the Ernest Hemingway house. There it is, y'all, in on this corner behind those trees over there. Ernest and Pauline Hemingway moved here in 1931. This was a wedding gift from Pauline's Uncle Gus. Built in 1851 by Ace Natif, a shipwrecker, the only French colonial style home on the island. After the tragic death of Hemingway in 1961, his widow sold it to some family friends. They turned it into the Hemingway Museum it has become today. When we get to stop B in about 5 minutes, you'll be a block away from the Hemingway house if you want to go explore it. Right side of the street, the Key West Lighthouse over here, the Lighthouse Keeper's Quarters as well. It's up above the tree line there to the right of us. Built in 1847, 88 steps to the very top up there. You can walk around outside, get a 15-mile panoramic view. They say Hemingway used the lighthouse at night to find his way home from the bars. Trivia question. What U.S. state has the most lighthouses on its shore? What U.S. state has the most lighthouses? Maine is number 2 with 80. Number 1
Michigan.
with 150. Michigan. 4 Great Lakes. Yeah. Saw that on Jeopardy last night. I watched too much this week, but I do learn a little bit when I do watch that. Yep. It has more coastline than any state that touches an ocean. Who knew? Nice little neighborhood we just rolled into here. This is known as Gatto Village. Eduardo Gatto Sr., a very wealthy cigar manufacturer, built this neighborhood for his cigar factory workers back in the middle 1800s. Houses, churches, schools, stores. Even his installed a trolley system back in the day to carry his workers to and from work here on the island. The cigar industry in Key West began in 1831. A man by the name of William Wall opened the first cigar plant here on the island. By the 1890s, we had 160 cigar plants. They were hand-rolling 100 million cigars a year in Key West. The industry, up and down, different things happened, but the main nail in the coffin, the year was 1959. Class, what happened in 1959? Castro took power of Cuba. The embargo hit. All that Cuban tobacco ended. A lot of those Cuban cigar makers left Key West, went up to Tampa and Ybor City after that. On our right, behind this fence, you'll notice the Truman Annex to the Naval Air Station of Key West. U.S. Navy has been here on and off since the early 1820s. First sent down here to get rid of the pirate problem of the Caribbean. You saw Pirates of the Caribbean. You know how it was back in the day. Today, the air station, they do a lot of communication work for the Northern Hemisphere. The bulk of the Naval Air Station, 7 miles northeast of Key West, up in Boca Chica, Key. Well, a shout out to the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, all factions of our military today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're still serving or a veteran, thank you very much for your service to the United States. My granddad was in the Navy back in the 50s, 2 cousins today in the Marines and Air Force. So always a big shout out. Go ahead and get your cameras and phones ready. We're about to pass the southernmost point to the continental United States. I'll go as slowly as I can so you can snap some pictures as we make the left turn up here at the end of Whitehead Street. The buoy on our right, or the left, if you're facing backwards, was erected up here in 1983. Prior to that, just a little hand-painted sign that said southern part of Key West. Right now, we're about 90 miles to Cuba. Look across the water to your right. You can see Raul waving at you over there. 157 miles to Miami Beach. And no one told me till a week after I moved here from Atlanta, Georgia, we are 122 miles to the nearest Walmart down here in Key West. Still got the shakes. The lovely house to the right of their point, this is the home of American author Thelma Strable. She wrote the book Reap the Wild Wind about the shipwrecking industry back in the day. Late 1930s, Thelma tried to buy the southernmost house, here way down on the far, far right. Harris family wouldn't sell to her, so in 1941, Thelma dumped hers way down here, 18 inches further south. Look at her plaque on the right next to the gate. She's now the southernmost house. A little jab at the Harris family. The book she wrote, Reap the Wild Wind, they turned it into a movie starring Ray Milland and John Wayne. The only movie John Wayne was ever a bad guy. Google it. In fact, I did. But here on the right, the original southernmost house, built in 1896 by Judge Vining Harris, Queen Anne Victorian style. Look how big that house is. Upstairs, downstairs, it even has a 9-foot excavated basement, one of the few on the island. When this house was first built, guess how many bedrooms his wife told him to put in that house? Grand total of 1 bedroom in that entire house back there. Reason for that, the Harrises, they loved entertaining, having dinner parties. Mrs. Harris didn't like overnight guests. So after the party, 1 bedroom, y'all got to skedaddle. I thought about doing that when I moved back to Georgia in a year or 2, but Georgia people are different. No matter how many bedrooms I got, they'll sleep in the car, the garage, or the yard. Then they'll breakfast the next day, so I can't get rid of them. Gorgeous yellow building to the left here on Duval Street, the Key West Butterfly and Nature Conservatory there. If you're into butterflies and nature, awesome building to check out today. Great little gift shop and natural history exhibit on the inside. Out back, the big greenhouse back there, thousands of butterflies from around the world. They say there are 17,000 species of butterfly in the world. If you walk through the greenhouse and a butterfly lands on your shoulder, they say good luck will be had by you for the rest of the day. Last November, I walked in there every Tuesday and Friday. Why did I do that?
Lottery.
Mega Millions was $1 billion last November. As you can see, no butterflies. I only drive the train. I do not own the train today. So there we go, there we go. Late 1800s, Cuba was in the midst of their Cuban Revolution. They were fighting for their independence from Spain. A lot of those Cuban freedom fighters came to Key West because they in support for the revolution. The most noted guy by the name of Jose Marti. Remember that name? Jose Marti. He's been called the George Washington of Cuba. A poet, a journalist, a lawyer. He would come to Key West, give speeches to the Cuban people, give money and support for that war. Notice on the right corner coming up with the umbrella, this little cafe in known as Plaza de Marti, or as we call it today, Martina. The balcony up top there, that's where Jose gave a speech way back in 1890. first, you'll notice today we talked about what happened here in Key West in South Florida, not in Miami. All right, ladies and gentlemen, about to make a right turn at the light and another quick right into our first stop over there on the corner. That is True Ball Station. Just hang tight till we get there. This will be a quick little 1-minute hop-on, hop-off stop. This will be your closest stop to Hemingway's House Lighthouse and the southernmost point.
Listen, if you're terminating your trip at the next depot, stay seated until we stop completely. And watch your step. Use the handrails as you disembark. Hasta la vista, baby.
As we continue our tour, everybody, we're going to take a right here. Go to US 1 just a little bit. This is the main road leading off the island up to the mainland. Yes, we can drive to the mainland from down here. 42 bridges that connect all the keys, but it is a nice little US 1 ride up to the keys. Here in Old Town, it's known as Truman Avenue, named, of course, after Harry S. Truman. Does anyone know what the S stands for in Harry S. Truman? Stands for nothing. Just added it to Sailboat Steve. Looked it up online, went to Truman Little White House, they told me again. Back in the day, Midwest, Upper Midwest, a lot of the sons did not get a middle name, so they chose an initial. He chose the S because his mother told him he had a couple of great-granddads named Solomon and Sherman, but it doesn't mean either one, just an S in honor. So, there's no period after that S, it's just Harry S. See all the Catholic church grounds at Key West over there. St. Mary's Star. Here to the right, been there since the 1800s. Second building where the convent used to be located. This is where the Catholic nuns lived back in the 1800s, early 1900s. The church is going to be up here on our right. Gorgeous church, St. Mary. And notice there are no windows, just big doors that open up to allow that cool ocean breeze to come inside there. And take a look to the very right, way back there. See that very old stone grotto in the back? Built in 1922 by Sister Louise Gabrielle. She was a Catholic nun, a nurse, a teacher. She also had lived through 3 major hurricanes hitting Key West. Tired, haggard, over it, she got the grotto back there in my hand. She prayed in the grotto. She stated as long as that grotto was there, people prayed back there. Key West would never suffer a direct hit from another major hurricane. And guess what? Since 1922, not one major hurricane has put a direct hit on Key West. 2 years ago, there was one of our Irma. She hit 36 miles north of us. Big time. We got the backside. All those pictures online and you saw on the news, that was the Upper Keys. That was not Key West. We were fine. Upper Keys got ripped. So go Grotto, keep Grotto East back there. You are riding the world famous Tour train. This year marks 61 years the train has been on the streets of Key West. It began in January 1958. A couple by the name of Bill and Olive Cole started with one train. Today we have 14 trains on the streets of Key West. We're owned by Historic Tours of America, HTA, the nation's storytellers. They also own those old town trolleys you see downtown. Those trolleys also in St. Augustine, Savannah, Nashville, D.C., Boston, and San Diego. So I can go to any city there and go work. On the right, open till 3 o'clock today, the Firehouse Museum of Key West. If you're into old fire engines, fire stuff from back in the day, pretty cool little museum to check out. Open till 3 today. Built in 1907 is Firehouse number 3. The fire department did move in until 1908. Why do you think they waited a full year to move in? The darn thing caught on fire in 1907. They say the fire department back then better have been in a parade than actually putting out fires. Now, y'all, I've got a little 2-block quiet zone. We got a couple of neighbors that's heard the tour, so we're always quiet when we go through here. You may talk amongst yourselves. Check out the architecture. I am back 44 seconds.
You ever see so many motorcycles parked just set the ground? Just all over. And they're pretty good shape, you know.
Underneath the porch easier to park. Above the
Railroad tour, let's talk a little bit about Henry Flagler. Ever heard that name, Henry Flagler? A lot of things in the state of Florida named after Flagler. Late 1800s, Henry Flagler is the second richest man in the world. His business partner is Standard Oil. J.D. Rockefeller, wealthiest man in the world. Flagler owns the East Coast Railroad. It runs from St. Augustine all the way down to Miami. Completed 1896. The turn of the century's coming. The Panama Canal about to open. Flagler wants to extend the railroad from Miami, the mainland, all the way down here to Key West, the overseas railroad. Under 6 miles long, 42 bridges, 37 miles of open sea. He dumped about $30 million of his own money into this little project of his. From 1905 to 1912, 7 years. But in 1912, January 22nd that year, the first train pulled into Jumbo Point, downtown Key West. Key West connected to the mainland now. It's called the eighth wonder of the modern world back in the day. And one of my favorite trees of Key West, look to the left here into the driveway. Look at that funky tree right there. Those are called gumbo limbo trees. Gumbo limbo. You'll see them all over the island. They have a red peeling bark. They peel almost all year round. They also call those trees the tourist trees. Red peeling bark, get it? They also used to make Haitian voodoo drums out of those trees. And remember that song by Chubby Checker, Limbo Rock, Limbo a little lower now? Under a gumbo limbo limb. It was a Caribbean song. Who knew? I always thought a limbo was a broomstick. That's all we had. Yeah, thanks, Chubby, for the update. And here to the right, the lovely Casa Marina Hotel. This is a Flagler hotel. Henry Flagler loved to build luxurious hotels at all of his train stops. This is his gift to Key West after the train arrived in 1912. Conceived before his death in 1913. It opened New Year's Eve in 1920. Back in those days, you could get a room here around $8 to $12 a night. That included 3 meals for the day. You know what people thought of that? Outrageous! Who paid that much for a hotel room? To put it in perspective, my sister and her husband came down from Atlanta 8 months ago. They stayed here. Add a couple of zeros, divide by 3, no meals included today. I am still a motel person. My sister, she married a banker from Atlanta. She's uppity now. Just loves spending his money places like that. As you make the left turn on the outer edge of Old Town Key West, look to your right, the lovely Atlantic Ocean. Very calm today, the Atlantic Ocean is. Higgs Beach, one of the fine public beaches of Key West. All the beaches in Key West pretty much man-made because we're sitting on a full rock. All the sand has been brought in over the years from South Florida and the world. And just 5 miles off the coast of Key West out there, the third largest coral barrier reef in the world. 200 miles long, that barrier reef. All the way back to the 90 miles from the rock. If you heard that call come out and wreck ashore, you knew a ship could wreck out there on the reef. Here in the middle 1800s, it was bringing in about $1 million a year to the local economy. Shipwrecking had actually made Key West the richest city per capita in America in the mid-1800s. There was a lot of money being made down here from shipwrecking. We're building to the right here, the Key West West Portola Port. Looks similar to the Key West Post Office. Built in 1861, today a free exhibit on the island. You can go in there for free. Also check out the Key West Garden Club. It is located inside there. All the plants, trees, and flowers of the Caribbean you can check out in there. The other 2 forts, East Martello and Fort Zachary Taylor. 3 forts along the outer edge over here in Key West. Key West was the first line of defense for the Caribbean and the Gulf back in the 1800s. Take a look out to your right. You're going to notice one of our walking and fishing piers. That is the White Street Pier. Or some people still call it the unfinished bridge to Cuba. 89 3/4 miles. We'll ride right into the island one day. Early people living Key West dating back 4,000 years ago, they were Caribbean Indian tribes. Tahitian, Calusa, Civenay. The Spanish arrived in the early 1800s. They also discovered human bones on the shore. They thought maybe a great battle would happen here. Maybe it was a burial ground. Later, actually, that did not matter. It already named the island Cayoesa. C-A-Y-O-H-E-T-S-O. Cayoesa. Remember your first year of Spanish? Cayo, little island, Huesa, bones, little island of bones, Cayoesa. The British colonists around the English to the Navy here, they attacked the Navy ships down there. Weapon of choice, one big lump of day-old Cuban bread. Just kind of threw it at the ship. Now, after that 30-second ready battle, they stepped back and quickly surrendered. Then applied for $1 billion worth of foreign aid. The aid never came, but the U.S. government so embarrassed by that little stuff. The Miami Newsroom's got it all on tape. It's on YouTube. Watch it for it to happen. About a week later, they took the roadblock down. So now every April, we have a week-long celebration celebrating our independence. Look at the flag of the Republic. The slogan at the bottom says that we succeeded where others failed. John, it sounds like a joke, but none of us made them. That all back in 1982. You'll notice a lot of Cuban in these grocery stores, cafes, boutiques, restaurants, coffee shops, bakeries. Just ahead on the left, see Sandy's Cafe? Best Cuban sandwich on the island right here. I'm trying most of them. That's it right there. Cubans running. Cubans know what they're doing. That's an awesome place to get a Cuban sandwich. They got a lemon zest cupcake. Old man. Takes me back to 1970. My grandmama's lemon cakes. Old man. Get a chance. Check that out. I don't need them, but I do eat them. Get a helpful hint. If you ever go to Cuba and you want a Cuban sandwich, just order a sandwich. You ain't got to say Cuban in Cuba. They know. Now, once again, we're going to cross Truman Avenue, head on into the Meadows neighborhood of Old Town Key West. And you'll notice these first couple of houses to the left, these are called shotgun houses. Ever heard that term, shotgun house? Open the front door, open the back door by looking through the barrel of the gun. Go straight through, front to back. They built it that way in the hot summer months. You can open both doors, get a cool breeze in your home. Other cities similar to this coastal environment, this kind of weather, Galveston, Houston, New Orleans, all along the Gulf in the eastern seaboard, a lot of shotgun houses in those cities. Another interesting fact about these homes here in Old Town, most of them not built by regular architects. They were built by shipbuilders and sailors. They built their houses when they got here basically like they built their ships, snug and trim. They didn't use nails a lot of the time. They used the technique called mortise and tenon joints. Ever heard that term? You kind of threw the wood, kind of fit the pieces together. These houses, just like a ship, they bend a little bit. They give in the wind. That is why so many of these homes have survived big storms and hurricanes, because they have a little bit of giving there. They don't just break. A friend of mine, he and his wife live a few blocks away. I was there a few months ago during a big storm. Man, that thing moans and groans. But it's tight, and it does not leak, so it's just like a ship. And since you've been here, you may have noticed all the buildings, all the homes in Old Town, they have one thing in common. Have you noticed it yet? Look up top. Every roof is metal. You don't see any wooden shingles down here. Even the shingles are metal. During the Great Fire of 1886, half the city burned to the ground, but they noticed as flames jumped from roof to roof, wooden shingle houses, they burned very quickly. Metal roofs were protected. So after the Great Fire, every house in Key West, every building mandated to have a metal roof. That is for fire protection, so that's why they have the metal roofs down here. And as good as the fire department was back then, probably not a bad idea. Currently on Francis Street, look to your left, you'll see the Key West Cemetery, built here in 1847. This was the geographic center of the island back in those days, the dead center of Key West. All religions are covered, goes on for city blocks as you can see. Notice too, just like New Orleans, most of the grave sites are above ground here in Key West. New Orleans does it because of the water table. We do it because we're sitting on a coral rock, 3 feet down, solid rock. Easier to put them above ground. Some very interesting people buried out there. Mr. Thomas Romer, his tombstone states, "Here lies Thomas Romer, a good man, 65 of his 108 years." 43 years, we're not real sure about. He's a womanizer, philanderer, a playboy. He's buried out there. His wife had a sense of humor. She put on his tombstone, "At least I know where he sleeps tonight." And Betty Roberts, she was the island's hypochondriac. One sentence on her tombstone: "I told you I was sick." That is all he said. She actually had that chiseled out before she died, just so he said the right thing. I'm sure these days, most of of you know what gingerbread is? You know that decorative molding they put on houses, make it look a little spiffy? Look to your left, Joe Southern, the greenhouse, top of the porch. Notice those arrowheads up there, hand-carved arrowhead gingerbread. Notice the next house, gingerbread men gingerbread, hand-carved. Back in the day, the gingerbread told you what they did for a living. Arrowheads, blacksmith. Gingerbread men, baker. If I get a house downtown, I'll put little coke trains on the front. Or if I win the Mega Millions, I'll put dollar signs all the way around. Think of Mega Millions if I win these houses. I'm sure the short time you've been here on the island, I've been here for 3 years, but the short time y'all have been here, you probably noticed already as well. Lots of chickens and roosters here in Key West. You seen them? You heard them? You might have smelled one. I don't know. Most of them came over in the late 1800s. When the Cubans were fleeing the revolution, a lot of them came to Key West. They brought their fighting roosters with them, gamecocks. They would sit in the yard, play dominoes, bet on cockfights. 1970, Florida, along with a bunch of other states, they outlawed cockfighting. Cubans got ticked off, opened the cages, turned all their roosters and chickens loose in protest. All the Florida Keys is a bird sanctuary. They're protected by the state down here. You can't touch them, treated just like pelicans or flamingos. You can't cage them, you can't own them. They're wild. You kill a rooster, kill a chicken, eat a chicken egg out of a nest in your yard. Get caught, $500 fine. Then still get a pelican egg, same price. 19,000 people live here. I've counted over 213,000 chickens. The closest KFC is 64 miles away. Protectionized it. Gorgeous White House on the left corner coming up. Gorgeous over there. Look at the rooftop up here. See that little building on the roof? Up north they call them Captain's Walks. Down here we call them, up north they call them Widow's Walks. Down here we call them Captain's Walks. Because during the shipwrecking era, you wanted to be the first captain out to the shipwreck. If you were, you were declared the wreck master. You were entitled to 50% of the cargo. That's where the money was made. But Widow's Walks, you're here there too because very dangerous endeavor, shipwrecking. A lot of times the wife would go up there looking out to the reef for her husband to no avail. So Captain's Walks, Widow's Walks, we call them both down here, but mostly Captain's Walks. You'll see another nice one coming up on the second house on the left, not the first yellow one, but the second white one, the John Loeb Jr. Look on the rooftop here to the left. That one even comes with an apartment up there. You can just stay up there. Get away from the light. It's just right. So you just sit up there away from the street. We're now about to make a right turn onto Simonton Street, named after John Simonton. He was the first American owner of Key West. He bought it way back in 1822 from a Spanish soldier who had been deeded the island by the Spanish government. Paid just over 2,000 peso for it in 1822. Gotta go out on a limb and say worth a few more pesos today. What do you think? And as we turn, look to the left on the corner over there. See Sarah Beth's big yellow building on the corner? Notice the windows down the side, though. They almost look religious or church-like, don't they? 1905, that building there, the first Jewish synagogue of South Florida.
Really?
Jewish B'nai Zion Synagogue over there. It will remain there for many decades. Today, the synagogue is across town on United Street. I've lived here for about 3 years now. Past couple of years, I've been to the synagogue a few times. You say, Wilson, are you Jewish? Nope, I'm from North Georgia. I'm Southern Baptist. But my girlfriend from New York City, she's Jewish, so I've been to the synagogue a couple times. We finally figured out how to do the holidays last year. I put up a Christmas tree. She puts blue Hanukkah decorations on it. We split the difference. We just don't tell our grandmothers. I don't want that call coming in. Southern Baptist grandmother and a Jewish grandmother? No. I checked no on that conference call. Check this out up ahead on the far right. See the brick antiques little store we're about to pass on the right? Went to the local library to find this out. You can find out everything at the library. This building, back in the 1930s, the local Sears and Roebuck down here in Key West. Lady Kenmore's were in the windows back there. Has some pictures of it in the library. Pretty cool to see what a building used to be, not what it is today. You knew the library had so much information. Gorgeous house on the left over there. See the little gingerbread house there? The William Kerr House, K-E-R-R, William Kerr. Very prolific Irish-American architect. He designed a lot of homes here and buildings in Key West, all across the U.S. as well. I think he was buddies with, what's his name?
United
Wright? Lloyd Wright? Remember one of those? I studied about it when I was doing engineering in college. I remember Kerr, K-E-R, Kerr. I remember him. Didn't realize all of this stuff he did down here, so that was his lovely little cute Street house back there he designed himself. Gorgeous trees to the right of us lining Simonton. You'll see a lot of them all over the island. They're West Indian mahogany trees. They were planted back in 1935 all over the island and Simonton by the Key West Garden Club. West Indian mahogany, a preferred wood of the shipbuilders back in the day. Blue building left side up here, back in 1928, this was the local Ford dealership. Ernest and Pauline Hemingway, they had ordered a car from here. A little Ford Roadster came down to pick it up on the train, going to take it back to Arkansas. Car was 2 weeks behind schedule, so the owner put him up here on the left in the Casa Antigua. While staying in the Casa, Ernest did a couple of minutes in rewrites to A Farewell to Arms in 1928 while waiting on the car to get here. They also made friends with Charles and Lorraine Thompson, became lifelong friends with the Thompsons. I'm pretty sure those 5 to 6 weeks they spent here in 1928 kind of set into motion the Hemingways. They moved here 3 years later, 1931. They would live here to 1941. That's the year they got divorced.
But that guy can't talk.
Hemingway, he had 4 mistresses, he had 4 wives. Each mistress checked up or checked down, ever how you were looking at that. Another building I really like here, the big brick one on the right corner up here, the William Curry and Sons Tobacco Warehouse built in 1877. William Curry was the first self-made millionaire of Florida. Curry's still a big name in South Florida. Now today this is one of 2 distilleries. This is the Hemingway Pilar Rum Distillery. Now listen up. For riding the Kong train, your sticker or your ticket stub, come here, they'll give you a free tour. They waive the $10 entry fee. So you get that for free for riding the train. Every hour on the hour, 5 o'clock the last one. But check it out. Take the 30-minute tour, see the distillery, how they make the rums. Then the bonus for free, taste all the rums back there they make. That's a pretty cool little tour to take today. So that's a free one on us for riding the Kong train. So you don't pay the $10. You just get it for free with your sticker or your ticket stub. The other distillery not affiliated with, but it's here on the right corner, the Key West Rum Distillery, the first legal rum distillery down here. The old bottling court here on the corner built in 1903. Look at the archway where you enter just above it. What kind of bottle cap is that? Coca-Cola, rum and Coke, why not? 1903, this building here, the first Coca-Cola bottling plant outside of Atlanta, Georgia. They bottled Coca-Cola here from 1903 to 1986. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, right back onto Front Street, just 2.5 blocks away from Mallory Square. I see the ship in the distance up there. That means we're coming into our next stop, Stop C. 10-minute break here at our station break, okay? So we'll take a little rest stop here on the train ride, catch our breath, restroom break, grab a bottle of water, soda. Restrooms inside through the double doors to the right, okay? So you can get inside there and use the restroom. 10-minute break. And then we'll be on our way to the last 20 minutes of the tour. So we'll take a 10-minute break here, not 11, not 12. So don't go to Starbucks. Do not go to CVS. You will not make it back, okay? Guaranteed. It takes longer than 10 minutes. So we'll do a little 10-minute break here. I'll call you back over the intercom in about 8 minutes. Give you a little 2-minute warning. Then we'll be on our way to the final stop. So hang tight. We're going to get off the street up here at our station. Then we'll do a little 10-minute break, y'all. Stand here when we get out. Now watch your step getting on.
Now is this where we get on the train to go?
Situations. Lay low and stay in your seat. And keep your mitts and mugs inside, see? Smoking is bad news, and so are dames and drinking, so don't mess with them. You may not believe me now or tomorrow, but someday, for the rest of your life, you'll know that I'm right.
Trying to get back out to the Brilliance, the ship. This is not a shuttle, okay? So if you're trying to get back out, the shuttles are to the right on the end of the building. This is a tour train, so I just put that out there. Usually about 5 people jump off and run on that one. But shuttle train over to the right. This is a tour train. I'm going to the other side of the island. I'm going to the Brilliance, okay? All right, we all good back there? Thumbs up. We're not missing anybody. Unless you want to miss them, tell me what they look like. We'll wave at them going down through Bowling Street. It's always funny watching people run after the train down the street. All right, everybody, all aboard, all aboard. Our next stop, in about 10 minutes, that'll be Stop D, Flagler Station. And if you just now joined us, my name is Wilson, train 106. Yes, that is a Northeast Georgia accent we got going on there. So we're about to go down and take a left on Duval Street, named after William Pope Duval, the first civilian governor of the state of Florida. Got his very own party street named after him down here. This is the main artery of Old Town Key West. Duval also has a county named after him here in the state as well. Duval County. What city is that? In Florida? Jacksonville. Duval County. I know that because I go watch Georgia beat Florida every year in the biggest Gator Bowl up there, the cocktail party. Sorry, Gator fans. But it starts down here just a half a block down at the Gulf of Mexico, runs the entire length of the island, all the way down to the southern part of the Atlantic, 1.5 miles wide. One of three streets actually, that run the entire length of the island. And take a look here to the right on the corner, 1891. This was a Cuban bank here in Key West. The Cuban cigar manufacturers did not trust the Americans at all, so they built their own bank down here in Key West. That balcony to the side of it, pure mahogany wood. It took one man 5 years to carve all those pieces out. And if you ever read the novel by Hemingway, Have and Have Not, that's the same bank he used in the novel. He got robbed. A lot of things, real life of his carried over into his song. But lots of fun stuff, a lot of stuff up and down Duval Street, as you can see. And we're getting decorated for the holidays, too, down here. I'm all ready for the holidays. Over to your right, the smallest bar here in Key West. Well, we got seating for 4 people right about now. All 4 stools are available in the smallest bar over there. 5th person, standing room only, y'all. And we're about to cross Green Street. As we do, look down to the right on Green, you'll see the yellow building down there. That is Captain Tony's Saloon. That is actually where Jimmy Buffett got started back in the 70s. Remember, he sang a song about Captain Tony? Also, where Sloppy Joe's originated, but in 1937, Sloppy Joe Russell moved it from there down here to the left of us on this corner. Been there ever since. Rumor has it his landlord went up $1 increase in rent on him 1 month, so he got ticked off. Bought that building for $2,500, moved it half a block down. Sloppy Joe's, that was Hemingway's favorite watering hole. He and Joe Russell, big fishing buddies back in the day. Oh, you always wonder where the politicos are. There they are, right there on the Wall Street. After the tragic death of Hemingway in 1961, his widow came down, found some stuff that he had stored there in Sloppy Joe's. Actually found a couple of unpublished novels. One of those was Islands in the Stream. Well, the greenhouse on the right corner there, that was the home of Dr. Joseph Porter back in the 1800s. He's the local health official who helped to eradicate yellow fever in the late 1800s. He finally figured out, after all those years of yellow fever killing people, the tiger mosquito. That was the main culprit. Once you got rid of the breeding ground down here, all the stagnant water in the ponds and puddles, you got rid of tiger mosquitoes, you got rid of yellow fever. Last known case 1903. Cute house on the right, the oldest house of Key West, built in 1829 right there with the raised porch. Built by a shipwrecker. His name was Captain Francis Watlington. Captain Watlington lived there with his wife and 7 daughters. I did not stutter. I said 7 daughters. I can only assume Captain Watlington was a bald-headed man. Left corner, lovely St. Paul's Episcopal Church. That is the first non-Roman Catholic church built on the island. Doors are open, Debbie. You want to check out some great architecture, walk in. They welcome guests inside St. Paul's. Check it out if you get a chance. Right side of Duval, the yellow stucco, the La Concha Hotel and Spa, built way back in 1926 here. Gorgeous hotel. 7 stories tall, so yes, that is the only skyscraper of Key West. First building in Key West to have an elevator installed upon it. Back in 1947, Tennessee Williams says a streetcar named Desire had been rejected up in New York City, so he came to Key West, stayed at the La Concha for 3.5 weeks, did a couple of edits, rewrites, did the whole thing over. Took it back to New York. The rest is history. Later, Tennessee bought a home here in 1949. Not many people know that Tennessee had a home here. And even Mark Twain spent time in Key West back in the day. Writers loved it down here. I'm not sure if it was the freedom, the salt air, many bars down here. As we make our way into the next one, look over to the right now. You're going to notice Jimmy Buffett's very first Margaritaville right over there. There it is, 1985. Jimmy got it all started right here on Duval Street. Now they're everywhere in the world. That's probably the smallest Margaritaville you'll ever see in the world today. Right side, gorgeous building here, the San Carlos Institute, established back in 1871, established by some Cuban patriots. They conspired the Cuban Revolution there in the late 1800s. Front side of the street, the Strand Theater, you'll notice here, built in 1934. Street. That is Rococo-style architecture. Today, one of the more spiffier-looking Walgreens you'll ever see in America. And remember earlier I mentioned the Great Fire of 1886. A lot of people say it started back there at the San Carlos Institute one night. Somebody left a cigar burning after a meeting. But the only fishy thing about that fire, the papers in Havana, Cuba, they reported the fire in their papers 3 days before the fire started. Where's Robert Stack in the cold case file on that one? I think something fishy was going on right there. A lot of unrest between the Cuban nationalists and the Cuban patriots back in the day, so I'm sure they came up here to quell the revolution. They didn't know they were going to burn half the city down that night. If you stay about a half mile straight out, you'll come to the very end of a southern street, right where Fort Zachary Taylor is located. If you're on the Brilliance today, that's where you park out there at the Navy Pier, but Fort Zach is right past it, another one of the 5 public beaches of Key West. It is a public state park, so it is a nominal fee to get in, but they open sun up, stay out there till sundown. A lot of people like to go to the beach out there and watch sunsets. It overlooks the Atlantic and the Gulf side of the island out there, so Fort Zachary Taylor, or you can take a tour of the fort. Pretty cool to check out as well. Fort Zach built in 1845 here. Once again on our left, you got to see the Monroe County Courthouse. A little better view from this side than we saw earlier. Notice a lot of things built 1890, 91, 92 I talked about. That was all reconstruction after the Great Fire of 86. And I forgot to talk about the kapok earlier. The kapok trees, very interesting trees. Looks like they should be in Jurassic Park. Back in the day, they used the pod, the seed of the kapok. They actually made life jackets for the sailors back in the day, out of kapok seed. Until synthetic materials, that's how they made life jackets back in the day. And again, on our right, there's the mile marker 0, as you can see. Second most photographed spot on the island behind the southernmost point. First most stolen sign on the island right there. Gets gone about every month or so, they replace it. The circle of life of the mile marker 0 sign. Lovely house here to the right, the purple shutters. This is the Marrera house. They have a nice bed and breakfast, but back in the day, Francisco Marrera found his way out of a Cuban jail. Early 1880s, came to Key West. By the late 1880s, he made quite a fortune as a cigar manufacturer. Got married, had kids, built the house 1892 back there. Went back to Cuba on a business trip, died mysteriously while he's over there with a wife. Although sad, she does inherit the house, the fortune, the business. All is good for her and her 8 kids of his here on the island. Not so fast, my friends. Guess what? Francisco failed to mention. When he left Cuba in the early 1880s, he left his first wife over there, never divorced her. She came over on the ferry with a marriage certificate. The judge here said, "You're correct. Second marriage, null and void." Cuban wife got the house, the fortune, the business. She's a Key West wife. All those 8 kids right out to the streets, penniless here in Key West. As Ricky Bobby said in the movie Talladega Nights, if you're not first, you are last. Key West wife, she does come back to haunt the place tonight looking for her old fortune. Key West, 4th most haunted city in America. Dead people outnumber living 3 to 1. 20,000, give or take, 100,000 graves there in Key West. I read enough Stephen King, I'm aware downtown when I'm walking around. Check out the Gray House on the right coming up. This is an example of classic revival New England style architecture. See how the forces match up there? Very prominent here in Key West. A lot of those northern sailors brought that style of architecture with them when they came down to Key West. Left corner, green trim, lovely home here. This is a Conch or Bahama style house. See the wraparound porches there? They added the porches to those style homes. That actually keeps the houses cooler. All of that staying cool, especially here in the southern tropics. Right side of the street, the Monroe County Library. That is the oldest library system in South Florida, established back in 1892. That building was actually built in 1959. It just had the 60-year anniversary there, a birthday, last Sunday. A big celebration, 60 years the library's been here on Fleming Street. Left corner, not the big greenhouse, but the second little greenhouse. Up and down. Those are called zigzag houses. As families got larger back in the day, some didn't move out. They just added sections to the house out back. So you get that up and down zigzag effect. There's a house down on Angela about 4 blocks away. 8 sections out back. Kept building, big old family. Yellow building, left corner discovered in the shallow waters in the mid-1800s. 2 blocks to the harbor, so the sponge warehouse was there. 1800s, early 1900s, there was $1 million a year industry for the locals. It added to it being the richest city per capita in America back in the day. During this time frame, Key West supplied America with most of their sponges back in those days. It came to a quick halt, though, in 1938. That's when a red tide rolled into the area, pretty much killed all the sponge beds and pretty much ended sponging on a large scale. One of my favorite styles of homes in Key West, look at the green one on the left here. Notice the upstairs windows. Blocked by the roof eave. That is a Key West invention. Those are called eyebrow houses. The roof eave actually comes down to block the sun from entering the upstairs, keeps the upstairs cooler. The historic page of Key West states there are 75 of those houses dotted all over Old Town Key West. Lovely White House coming up on the right corner. Notice the gingerbread up top there. What do you see around the top porch? Oh, those are not ice cream cones. Those are ship wheels. Yep, there you go. Built in 1896 by Benito Alfonso, a shipwrecker. Wanted everybody to know he was a shipwrecker, so he put the ship up there. Only a block away to the harbor, so he could just walk to his boat right down here at the harbor. Later in the early 1900s, Antonio Diaz Caruso moved in. He was the first Cuban consul to America after Cuba got its independence from Spain. We are now making a left turn here on Caroline, just a half a block to the right, the historic Seaport District of Key West. That means we're coming into our next stop, everybody. Stop D, Flagler Station. This is a 1-minute quick hop-on stop here, just a 1-minute stop. But this is the historic Seaport District, all the fun seafood restaurants and homes located here. So, quick stop here. Then after this quick stop, we got 8 minutes away to the final stop at Mallory Square. So here we go. Right into
After catching the next flight out, line, please. This is the museum. Just remember to stay in your seat until the lift comes in.
Flagler Station to the right of us, the historic Seaport District of Key West. Also known as the historic Seaport Bight. B-I-G-H-T, bight. A bight is a natural, safe, deep harbor. That's what made Key West such an ideal place back in the day for the military to be here. The shipping lanes came by here. This was a port of entry for the Caribbean. Also, those pesky pirates back in the day, a great place to hide away down here far into the Caribbean. Shopping here at the harbor, plenty of restaurants along the Schooner Wharf here to the right of us, about 19 of them to be exact. Runs all the way to Front Street and on back over there to Mallory Square. Look out there today to the harbor, see lots of charter boats, fishing boats, yachts, schooners, catamarans. But if you came down here back in the 1940s and 50s, you would have seen over 400 shrimping vessels out there. They were shrimping for pink jumbo shrimp, pink gold, they called it back in the day. They kind of overshrimped the waters early 1960s. What's left of the shrimping fleet these days, one key up Stock Island, just over the Cow Key Bridge, right above Key West. A little less than 100 shrimping boats today, but at one time, almost 400 to 500 of them shrimping back in the day. Rather large building to the right up here with a mural on the side of it, the Waterfront Brewery of Old Town Key West. Pretty awesome food there, a great little sports bar. I go there on Saturday sometimes to watch Georgia play football. And also inside that warehouse, almost like a mini Dave and Buster's, skee ball, basketball, pool, darts, video games. The mural on the side of that building known as the Wyland Wall. Ever heard of the artist Wyland? Pretty famous artist these days. Painted 100 murals in the world. That is number 52 on his list. He's got a very nice gallery down on Duval Street in the 600 block. He owns a home in Key West as well. I've met him a couple of times. Pretty nice guy. He comes out here for charity events and things. Pretty good guy, Wyland. If you will, take a long look across the street, Caroline on the far left over there. See the red doors? 1880s, that's a cigar manufacturing plant. But in the 1940s and 50s, that is considered to be the roughest bar on the Gulf Coast of Florida here at the harbor. So rough and bloody, they even nicknamed that place the Bucket of Blood. They would stop you at the door, pat you down before you entered, check you for a weapon. You didn't have a weapon, they gave you a weapon. You never had any chance in that door. Listen, Key West hadn't always been the warm and Johnson down here today. Gorgeous home, flying Caroline today, like the Cypress House here on the right corner. Built in the early 1880s out of, you guessed it, cypress wood. Today, the Cypress House Hotel. That's what it is today. Just a few feet down on the right, see the big brick house around here. This is an example of Queen Anne style architecture. See the Capitol Belfry on the other. Very 19th century. You'll see a lot of Queen Anne here. And remember William Curry, we mentioned earlier, the first self-made Florida. Look at his gorgeous home on the right next corner. Look at that Curry mansion over there. Lovely Victorian home there. Completed in 1905, built by William and his son Milton. Today, that lovely house, a 22-room bed and breakfast here on the island. Great place to stay, just steps away from Duval Street up here. That song we just heard by Jimmy, he co-wrote it with a guy who used to live here on the island named Shel Silverstein. Ever heard that name? Shel Silverstein? He wrote the children's poem book, Where the Sidewalk Ends. Also wrote a bunch of songs in Nashville with Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings. He wrote A Boy Named Sue for Johnny Cash. Also, Sylvia's mother in the cover of the Rolling Stones for Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show. Very prolific songwriter, artist, and book writer. So, Shel had a house on William Street back in the 70s here in Key West.
Horseplay, tomfoolery.
I wonder if that's literal barge.
See, greenhouse on the left here. This is the old Heritage Museum of Key West. Built back in the middle 1840s. Notice down the alleyway behind it, though. You'll see a little green cottage to the left, way back there behind the green van. That is the Robert Frost cottage. The poet Robert Frost, 15 seasons he stayed here. That was his cottage back there. It's actually a rental. You can rent that on Expedia. You can go stay where Robert Frost stayed. And look at the white building here on the left corner. Today, a nice restaurant called First Flight, but look at the sign on the side of the building. Pan Am got started right here. Pan American Airways, 1927. The first ticket office right there. The first international flight, October 28th that year, all the way to Havana, Cuba. How many of you know what a cistern is? You know, like it's a concrete holding tank. I know back in the days here they used them to collect rainwater to save for drinking water. Notice over to the left on the old Naval Yard. That's a very large cistern right there. The U.S. Navy used that back in the day. They would collect almost 500,000 gallons worth of water in that thing for the steamships that actually came to port to Key West. No longer used by the Navy. That's just where Key West, we keep all the margarita mix there now. Thank you, Jimmy Butler. I always say, what if Jimmy didn't like margaritas? We could be in Pina Coladaville. I know on Saturdays when I'm at home in my living room watching college football, it becomes Diet Coke in Bourbonville those days. Tried to write a song with that. You can't rhyme Diet Coke in Bourbonville. It don't really work that. Well, if it's starting to look familiar, everybody, we're getting right back to where we started from about 74 minutes ago. Mallory Square, right up here in the distance, where the Shipwreck Museum is located, the aquarium, sponge market, shell warehouse, all located here. If you call me at stops B, C, or D and need to get back to those, your next train out looks like number 99 over here to the left of it. Or if you want to go and explore more of the island, remember, you can ride the trains all day long today. Your ticket's good for the entire day, but the next train out looks like number 99 right now. That'll be Marbu. He'll be leaving out here shortly. Trains are running every 20 minutes or so you can catch a train any station every 20 minutes or so ride all day long. But we're going to finish up our tour to the left here in the back side of Mallory Square. This is where the famous sunset celebration happens every evening here. Rain or shine, we have sunset out here overlooking the Gulf. The street vendors show up around 3:30 or 4. Sunset today, I believe since the time change, it is 5:28 this afternoon. Very early. Dark but before Jeopardy comes on, it kind of throws me off a little bit. But a pretty cool little festival to see every evening here at Mallory Square. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that little roundabout tour, learned a little bit about the island, maybe saw some places you want to go explore a little later on today. Once again, my name is Wilson, Train 106. My pleasure giving you all the tour. I want to thank you for riding the train today. Thank you all for taking that tour. And remember those ticket stubs on your sticker. They get you into the Pilar Rum Distillery for free, so go check that out every hour on the hour. Get a little tour over there. And if you got a ticket stub, there are postage paid comment cards. My boss is